Jonathan Scott's jab at Drew is a hilarious reminder why fans can't quit Property Brothers. Jonathan and Drew Scott tend to keep things professional on screen, but at the end of the day, they are brothers after all. Jonathan recently took aim at his twin on his Instagram story while viewing a past episode of Property Brothers. The crime? His fashion sense. In the story, Jonathan wrote, "So, an old episode of At Property Brothers is on, and sorry at Drew Scott is supposed to be the stylish one." Decked out in a grey suit with black trim, a white button-down, and a grey and yellow striped tie, the real estate expert looked more like he was selling life insurance than helping someone find a home. Though a specific episode was detailed, it is likely from the early run of the series. Both brothers have stepped up their fashion game as their HGTV empire has grown. This social media call-out displayed exactly what viewers love to see from Jonathan and Drew: their relationship. Jonathan and Drew have formed a dynamic duo on HGTV thanks to their knowledge in the world of renovation and real estate. Like history in a time capsule, the Property Brothers' evolution has been a fascination to track. Not just with how they've expanded their reach on the network, but how they've portrayed themselves on screen. Since Jonathan publicly ribbed his brother about style, the early days of Buying and Selling and Property Brothers, Jonathan and Drew had a distinct uniform for each as a means to help differentiate who was who. Drew, the real estate expert, tended to be well-groomed, wearing suits around his clients. As the contractor, Jonathan had a bit more of a gruff appearance, giving lumberjack chic. As fans became acquainted with the pair, they both became more lax with their wardrobe, allowing their personalities to shine. Now, listen. They were never out here attempting to be the fashion icons of the networks. Fans aren't turning to them as they do for someone like Erin Napier's wardrobe. In fact, a Reddit thread has shamed the brothers for their fashion. Over the years, they have been able to play around in the wardrobe department, especially with their Western series Chasing the West and Property Brothers, At the Ranch. As they've grown their families and built upon romantic relationships, their fashion has adjusted. They have their own vibe. The reality is that viewers tune in primarily for their knowledge and sibling relationships. For the most part, the brothers were a dynamic tag team duo, but on occasion, they've displayed a fun sibling rivalry on screen. If you thought the social media ribbing was cute, there was an entire show filled with it. On Brother vs. Brother, originally, they competed head-to-head renovating identical properties as mentors to teams. By season 3, the game had changed, with the team format being eliminated. This time, Jonathan and Drew took on homes of their choosing. The best part? Their older brother, J.D. Scott, served as the referee. And yes, there were many pranks involved. It became one of the biggest shows on the network and helped satisfy the fans' desire for competitive reality on HGTV. Without Brother vs. Brother, we may never have had Rock the Block. Though still beloved on the network, the Property Brothers faced the ire of the fans as they were marked safe from that HGTV summer bloodbath. As mainstays on the network with 2 series coming to the lineup, some fans were disappointed that they remained, while other fan-favorite series and personalities were axed. In the aftermath, the premiere of Chasing the West was delayed while Don't Hate Your House was indefinitely postponed for later in 2025. With most of the announcements coming from the personalities and not the network, HGTV has cancelled a handful of shows, including Bargain Block, Married to Real Estate, Izzy Does It, Farmhouse Fixer, Battle on the Beach, Christina on the Coast, and The Flipping El Mousas. With the full programming block incoming soon, HGTV fans are prepared to experience further Game of Thrones-style heartbreak where their favourites may not come out alive. The Property Brothers recommend decluttering kitchen counters with appliance garages. The Property Brothers Drew and Jonathan Scott have seen it all in their more than 25 years in real estate, and they regularly share all of their tips and tricks with fans. Whether they're calling out flawed design concepts on social media or sharing tips on maximizing space on their HGTV series like Celebrity IOU, these two have never shied away from sharing their opinions. For example, Jonathan and Drew are not big fans of clutter on kitchen counters. Instead, they recommend homeowners use appliance garages to clear up space, and we're ready to take them at their word right now. During a recent episode of Celebrity IOU featuring Rachel Brosnahan, Drew Scott shared his personal edict on kitchen clutter, Nothing is worse than seeing a counter that is full of, in fact, you can't even see the countertop because there's so many appliances on it, he said. The issue, of course, being that we all have so many kitchen appliances and gadgets that we use on a regular basis. So what's the solution? Consider an appliance garage for your toaster, coffee maker, kettle, and more. This was the solution the brothers employed by installing built-in walnut cabinets with hidden storage during Brosnahan's episode. Whether you want to use built-in cabinets or even add a kitchen island to store all of your small appliances, the trick is to have easy access without cluttering up your kitchen. Storage is always an elegant solution, because who needs all that visual pollution in your nice, clean kitchen? Drew Scott is all about sharing his strong opinions on design and functionality, regardless of whether he is dealing with a celebrity or not. During an episode of Celebrity IOU with Olympian snowboarder Shaun White, he called out the concept of slim shelving on a TV wall design as just generic, boring. Instead, he recommended getting artistic with the shelves by installing a custom system of various boxes and wood shelves that can be used to display plants, photos, and more. Much like his twin brother Drew, Jonathan Scott isn't afraid to share his feelings on design issues both big and small. He recently took a strong stance about a particular bathroom design issue that started a debate on social media, all about which way toilet paper should roll. These two brothers are answering all of our questions, from where to store our kitchen appliances to toilet paper. What would we do without them? HGTV's Drew Scott just shared his daughter's hilarious and unexpected second word. Mama was her first word, and she would say it all the time, Scott recently told People of his daughter Piper. And then months are going by. I'm like, come on. Dada, 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 dada. Her second word, hippo. Her stuffy is a hippo. Her second word was hippo. He joked, I'm like, you can't even say dada before hippo, then added, now she's saying dada, so I'm happy. Scott and wife Linda Fan are parents to Piper, 1, and Parker, 3. In a 2024 interview with People, Fan said one of the best parts of having 2 kids is seeing the siblings bond. Yeah, seeing Parker as a big brother to Piper is pretty cool. At first he was a little unsure, and then now they seem like the best of buds, Scott added. Fan joked, I mean, there are days when it's like, oh, I don't know, can we return her? That's what he thinks, but they're going to be best friends now. In addition to wrangling 2 toddlers, Scott and brother Jonathan just celebrated the premiere of their latest show, Chasing the West. The show sees the pair help families adjust after trading city life for the country. It was sort of bittersweet because we could share what we loved about growing up on a ranch with all of these families, Jonathan told People of working on the show. On the flip side, I miss it. It was so fun to be in the mountains. Drew called the show's production nostalgic and a blast from the past. We learned a lot over the years from being on a ranch and the hard work that it takes, he explained. But all these homeowners that we're dealing with, they were oblivious. They thought it would just be a dream to leave the hectic, busy pace of the city and have a relaxing life on a ranch. No, it's hard work. So we really were that wake-up call. The Property brothers even started thinking about making their own moves to the country after working on Chasing the West. I was living vicariously through these families, Jonathan told Country Living. I miss having that much space. That does make me have that itch a little bit to get out of the city. Drew added, my wife and I actually went a couple of years ago, started looking at properties outside of Los Angeles and some acreages. It's a lot of work to upkeep an acreage. So we figured right now is not quite the right time, but maybe in the near future. From juggling life with 2 young kids to showing families the ropes on a ranch, it looks like Drew Scott has his hands full these days.